Yizzo, how's everybody doing tonight? All right. I figured I'd come on late, you know. Uh, I was listening to Chicago Muscle Show. I was at my storage digging around and doing shit, like I said. And then I saw that Casparozzo was going to be going on at 10. I was going to come on around then, but then I talked to him and he said 10:30, so I waited. And I had some shit to do. I had to do some stuff around the house anyway, so it's no big deal. But I figured I'd come on for a little while with you guys and chop it up. I could take my earbud out now. I had it in because let me see who we got here. Who do we have? Nice and mellow Monday night, April Fool's Day. Sorry I didn't pull an April Fool's joke on you. I don't care about that shit, you know? I think everybody else, pretty much, almost everybody else on here, with the exception of 2 or 3 people, they pull an April Fool's joke on you every day. You know what I mean? With their bullshit stories and their fucking, their tough guy acts and routines and all that bullshit, you know, and just being complete and total frauds, you know? It's funny to me that fucking JC interview was released on April Fool's Day. How about that? That's some funny shit. Or was it meant to be that way? You think Soft White Underbelly was trolling JC? You know, I want to say, I left this out earlier. They mentioned it on Chicago Muscle Show. He did not stop talking. Go back and watch it. I don't think once. I think the Soft White Underbelly guy said one thing to him in the beginning, and Jeff was on a roll for, what was that? It had to be over an hour, right? I mean, it was not an interview. It was a monologue. There was no interview. There was no questions being asked. It was absurd. I've seen Soft White Underbelly's interviews. He asks people questions. But maybe he's just, I don't know. Maybe he's off his game because this shit, embarrassing. And I'm, you know, looking at his comment section periodically and holy fuck. Yeah. A lot of people are leaving comments, people who know who JC is. Alex Riz, Sean Landon Clark, Butterfly Kisses, Hervaven Gill, War, hey now, Jesse Roth, Alex Riz. Did I already shout out Alex Riz? Yes, I did. Sorry. Get down here. Jason Mikesell? Yep, another show. Alex Riz says Casparoz's show is weak tonight. Well, in Casparoz's defense, I know that every time he goes on, you want, you know, the full story. You want all the details and all that. Casparozza knows what he's doing, you know, and I don't think it was a weak show because he put out a challenge. MRE, show your paperwork, have it unsealed. Now I want to remind you of something, okay? I want to remind you that as soon, or within maybe, I don't know, a couple of weeks or so of being called a rat by Angel and her friends because I had a sealed file, I went and I unsealed it. I got the papers, all the documents, the court minutes as they called them, and I fucking sent them to everybody who doubted me. First off, you know, Angel, she was the first one I sent them to, and everyone else who's talked shit since. Now, again, you know, that case, I went through hell for not cooperating. I told you there's things I won't even get into. Certain people here know some of the shit that happened because of my refusal to cooperate. But till this day, people say you're a rat. Or they'll, you know, listen to some bullshit story about some mysterious happenings in 2019 that never took place, and they'll just run with that and say you're a rat. It's so funny, all those people, you don't have to convince about shit when it comes to me. Just say it once and they believe it. You know? But I unsealed my paperwork. Why won't MRE unseal his? If you ask yourself that question, okay, the only conclusion you can come to, because he has yet to do it. It's been 2 years. This month will be 2 years since MRE was doxxed, exposed, whatever. Maybe a year and a half since we found out about his little rat gun case. A year and a half. And hasn't unsealed a thing yet. Why? I don't want to hear that, oh, I'm not your puppet. I'm not, you're not going to pull my strings. I'm not going to do what you want me to do. I don't care about what you think, blah, blah, blah. Nah, fuck that. If you're on here as an anti-rat person and you get accused of being a rat and all you got to do is unseal a file, you're going to do it. Anybody would. I did it. He won't unseal the shit because he's a rat. That's it. There's nothing else to it. So Kasparoza put out a challenge. Now I want to hear MRE's fruity excuse for why he won't unseal the paperwork, if he even addresses it at all. Tony Pizza can bullshit people all day about vet bills and all types of other stuff. And his people never say, show us a receipt at least. And MRE is the same. He can bullshit people all day. He could tell them about, the guns were legal, so they dismissed the case. The judge laughed it out of the courtroom. And none of his people ever say, MRE, why don't you just prove it by unsealing the fucking case? Somebody in the soft white underbelly thing, on that video, put a comment. Some guy named Donald something. This guy is a fraud, meaning JC. MRE exposed him and his friend FBS. They were never involved in anything on the street. Now, JC, I don't know. I can't even say he was never involved in anything on the street. I could say he was never in the mafia. I could say he was never part of a cartel. And I think what he was involved in, like I said earlier, tops was some, bullshit nickel and dime weed sales. But I don't know for sure because I'm not Marty McFly. How did MRE expose that I never did anything in the street? How did he said he proved that. How would you prove it? Did you go back in time? Did you ignore all the people that have been on this show and confirmed, these stories I've told and shit? And you know what I mean? Said clear as day that they know about these events and stuff like that. And I don't even give a fuck. You guys will always believe whatever you want. But the point is, though, you say something as stupid as that. Now, you must be an MRE fan, right? But you don't question this guy about his fucking record. You believe him that he's not a rat, and you believe him that he's not a neo-Nazi. But when he says something about me, he comes on a show and goes, FBS was never involved in anything in the street. Donald is like, oh, he proved it. I always knew it. He proved it. It's true absurdity. I talked about a home invasion once. MRE did 8,000 shows talking about, FBS is not the type of guy that would do a home invasion. He doesn't have that in him. And then I called up my mom out of the blue one day, and she's like, yeah, I remember when you robbed the guy for, $7,000 something, and, you and your friend from East New York, and there was, money with blood on it and all that shit, But that's like, ignore that. You had a guy from the money team on here talk about us being in the streets together. Ignore that. You've had Cam on here talk about, certain things. Quite obviously, he's somebody I've been friends with for a very long time and knows a lot about me. Forget all that. But MRE says he's not a Nazi. And you just believe him. You just believe him. He says, with more evidence of anything anybody's ever been accused of, there's more evidence to prove that he's a rat. And especially to prove that he's a neo-Nazi. You could put blinders on and pretend he's not a rat. But the Nazi shit, and Jesse, I'm curious about you. I know Jesse tries to be nice. Jesse said earlier, I believe he's a neo-Nazi. I don't believe he's a white supremacist. That's like saying, I believe he's a criminal, but I don't believe he ever committed any crimes. I love you, Jesse, but you confused me on that one. A neo-Nazi is a white supremacist. A white supremacist is a neo-Nazi. Same exact thing. But, you know, I'm just fucking with you, Jesse. I'm making the point, though, when it comes to the other people, that no matter how much glaring evidence is in front of your fucking face, you still won't believe what is quite obviously the truth. But MRE or Angel or any of these people could say anything about me or my wife, and it's like, my wife took Excedrin one day on camera. They spent the next year, and probably still do till this day, say that she was on drugs on that show. Now, you're willing to believe that it was some sort of, I don't know, opiate? But being an Excedrin, that's out of the question. Because you don't want to believe it was just Excedrin, because then it'll blow your whole bullshit story out of the water. Meanwhile, my wife is more clean and sober than any of you on here. Any of you. And I mean any of you. Everybody at least drinks or smokes fucking weed. Shanna does nothing. Neither do I. It's amazing the shit I hear and the stuff people are willing to accept and the stuff people are always ready to reject. You know, the things they'll believe and the things they'll call a lie. It's insane. They could have all the proof in the world that something is a lie. They won't believe it. Then they could have all the belief in the world that something is the truth, and they won't believe that if it's not something they want to believe. What did Chicago say tonight that puzzled the fuck out of me? Chicago quoted Kane Shades on something about having integrity and like having the truth on your side or something. At the very least, having integrity and not lying. Chicago, Kane Shades is a proven liar. I proved it with video. I didn't just come on and say it. He's a proven fucking liar. He took a video and chopped it off right before something was said that didn't fit his narrative. Okay, he deliberately edited a video to make it look like I said something I didn't. He's a liar. He's a liar through his videos. He's a liar through his big fat fucking mouth. He's a liar. So, and you might not know that, Chicago, but Kane Shades is allergic to the word integrity. Okay, he doesn't have any. He never did. He's just one of these anti-rat people who still thinks he's some sort of big badass from the streets. You know, while he lives with his mom and doesn't even pay a fucking bill. And then lies about owning properties that I have proof he doesn't own a single fucking one. He lied about that too. I own all these properties. He says, I collect rent. That's what I do for a living. No, you don't. Even the property you live in is in your mother's name. I have the proof. Want me to show it? That's it. So he's a fucking liar too. All these liars. It's amazing. It's amazing. Do I get a little bitter sometimes? Sure. You know, you hear all these guys talking about like nobody could ever pull up on them and, this wouldn't happen to them and this wouldn't happen to them. First of all, we wouldn't know. It hasn't happened to you yet. Secondly, you know, it could happen to anybody. I don't give a fuck how on guard you are or how on point you are or how much you're paying attention. And third, don't discount what I did that night, because if you want to believe that I got my ass kicked by one guy, if you want to believe I got jumped, if you want to believe I'm a pussy for calling an ambulance, even though I could have been crippled, who knows? My back was all fucked up. I couldn't barely sit. My tailbone was fucked up for weeks and weeks afterwards. I at the very least had to get x-rays. And of course, I couldn't do a criminal case or a lawsuit without going to the fucking hospital. Everybody knows that. You want to talk about me calling the cops, whatever you want. But there's one thing that's undeniable. Undeniable. Because everybody seems to know what would have happened if it was them. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what you do know for a fact. It was me, and you know what happened. And what happened, you can't deny, because even the people who jumped me said it, is that they approached me. And I don't even lie and say I knew about all 5 guys. I knew about 3 at the time. They approached me and they immediately said that they were there to fight. And I got out of the car and rushed them. They don't even deny that. So willing to fight? It's not even a question you have to ask yourself. I didn't get out of the fight to face a guy one-on-one. I didn't get out of the car to face a guy one-on-one. There was 3 guys there. I knew the outcome was going to be terrible. I knew it. But I still got out and I fought. Nobody can deny it. From day one, they said he got out and started swinging on me. He rushed me. Yeah, I did. And that's all that matters in the end. That's the only measure of a man you need. Forget what he did after. What did he do in the moment? And all people who don't like me and shit, they're constantly talking about what would happen if it was them. Yeah, okay. Yeah. How would we know? Only a couple of other people have ever been pulled up on here and nothing. So, I just love, everybody is whatever they want to be on YouTube. If I seem a little aggravated, it's because I am, seeing something like this JC shit today. And then, thinking back to all the nonsense these punk motherfuckers have said about me. And since I got jumped and after that stupid Howie thing and every fucking thing else, it's like, you motherfuckers will believe whatever you want to believe. Whatever you want to believe. A guy can get out to face 3 guys and start swinging on them, and he's still a pussy because you just want him to be a pussy. You could call a guy a rat and then find zero proof, zero. Matter of fact, all the proof that's there, it's pretty fucking clear that I certainly didn't rat. You don't get stupid sentences like I did for ridiculous low-level crimes. Have you ever told on some fucking body? You don't get your car taken and auctioned off. They'll give it right the fuck back to you. They told me they would if I cooperated. They'll give it right back to me. They also did other shit to affect me and my family because I didn't cooperate. So do I have the right to be a little mad when people still talk about some sealed case and say you're a rat? Do I really care? No, because I know the truth and the people around me in actual real life know the truth. But it's just funny that a motherfucker like JC could come on and tell his bullshit story, and there will be naive, dumb motherfuckers out there that'll believe him. But, I could show all the proof in the world. I was a terrible father. I showed you my custody agreement. Don't matter. Equal custody for my daughter from the age of 7. Don't matter. Still a terrible father because we said so. Make up stories about getting caught in crack houses with my child. All types of shit. Meanwhile, where's the proof of any of this? Where's the proof I wore a wire on a guy? Where's the proof of anything that you motherfuckers choose to believe? But you still won't accept that MRE is a fucking Nazi. Swastikas, Hitler tattoos. Nope, not enough for us. He just likes history. Yeah, German history. He loves it. About that show still being live. Listen, when I tried to start that live earlier, if you saw, it took like 17 seconds till my intro started. It's because it wouldn't let me go live. And then when I tried to end the stream, it wouldn't let me end the stream. So the stream ended, but it had me on YouTube as live. There's nothing I could do about it. So I don't know why that happened, but let me get down here because I talked so fucking much. There's no way I can go through all the fucking comments. I forgot about all that April Fool's shit. Yeah, because we're grown-ups. Each day is YouTube Fool's Day. It is. Isaac FDZ, what up? What up? Well, I wish I could put your comment. There you go. Robert B. I know I there's no point in me going on with shout outs now, but I'll call out anybody I know I didn't shout out. Matt B, $4.99. Great show, bro. Appreciate you. Well, thank you. And I'm only 23 minutes in. Paid in full like the poster. Well, that's coming down tomorrow. I'm putting Muhammad Ali back up for now. I don't give a fuck. I wanted the room to be different. It'll still be a little different. I changed some things, but I'll replace the Muhammad Ali one too. But until I get something that I'm okay with, that I'm satisfied with, that's got to come down because I don't know why. If you look at that picture in my room, it's as vivid as could be. All the colors pop, the details in everybody's faces. But I guess with the lights I use, it makes that one part by Mitch's chest and fucking in the movie Ace's chest where it's all blurry. even over Mitch's face. So it's not blurry, it's faded, it looks like. It doesn't make any sense to me. I fucked around with the lights. I don't know. So it looks like a bullshit piece of paper up there. So I'm going to take that down and put Muhammad Ali up until I find something good to put up there. I don't have patience. I didn't want to wait and order something because for some reason, all the posters or paintings I want, it's a fucking month to get one. I don't know why, but I guess I'm just going to have to wait. And the antenna mafia, I think so too. I think they have to. Who the fuck buys antennas, by the way? There's such a thing as antenna sales these days. For what? What are you buying an antenna for? Are you trying to communicate with fucking aliens? Yeah, exactly, War. I'm not a Marty McFly either, but I have unzipped a lot of flies on Park Avenue. We know Gay Maltese Vampire Park Avenue. If it's the same Donald, he writes all kinds of shit. He's even come on my channel talking shit to me. He's a jerk off. FBS, let's go build dioramas. Yeah, War. Cole Sanders, FBS, you did a home invasion. Why would you admit that? Were you looking for street cred? Well, Cole Sanders, I don't know how long you've been around, but I admit everything. That's kind of my thing. When I came on here, this channel was supposed to be about the mob and my life of crime and my life of addiction, and now recovery. So I told everybody everything. As long as the statute of limitations is up, I'm not fucking stupid. This is something that happened when I was 19 fucking years old. You know what I mean? 25 fucking years ago. And yeah, I told the story. I didn't make a big deal out of it. Never. I never made it sound like it was a big deal. It wasn't. There's $7,243. That's what we got. It's them that made a big deal. MRE's never done any real street crime. None of those guys have. So to them, a home invasion is a big deal. You got to be like a mob guy to do that. No, you don't. The city I'm from, and most cities, it happens all the fucking time. And I used the word home invasion only because we ran up in the guy's crib. It wasn't like the shit Gene Barella was doing, tying people up and shit like that. We simply set a guy up. A friend of mine said he was going to go over there to pick up some weed. So, we wanted to make sure the guy was expecting him. So he'd open the door right up. And that's what he did. We had masks and guns and we knocked on the door. He opened it right up. We ran up in the crib and took his shit. We were in there for all of a minute and a half, I'd say, if that. But yeah, that to them is like, no. That's what tells me that they've never been involved in any street shit. That is so common. Drug dealers robbing other drug dealers. That is so fucking common in the streets. And they're like, no way. No, FBS has got to be like some sort of special criminal to do something like that. The fuck out of here. Isn't what the same thing, Joe Everyman? You just left one comment that said, isn't that the same thing? You think I'm looking at comments in real time as you're posting them? No, you don't have to explain, Jesse. I know. It caught me by surprise. I'm like, wait a minute. And even if you want to differentiate the two, then he's both. He's both. He calls black people basketball Americans. He talks about, our race or the white race being destroyed by certain other races and shit like that. He uses that Aryan Brotherhood, white nationalist fucking neo-Nazi language. He carries signs that say Jews are word kids. So he's not just a neo-Nazi. The Jews are word kids, fine, call him a neo-Nazi. He's talked about every fucking racial group under the sun except for pure white people. That's what he loves, even though he's not pure white, which just makes it hilarious. White nationalists and white supremacists are different. White nationalists aren't neo-Nazis. White supremacists are. Well, that's what I said. I said that Jessie said that she thinks he's a neo-Nazi, but not a white supremacist. It's the same fucking thing. A white nationalist, you could say it's not, but bullshit. Well, I'm sure he was, Jason B. I think he's going down the tubes. Not like he hasn't been forever. FBS, was it 4 or 5 or 6? Gee, I don't know, Kane Shades. Warrior the man. No. He wasn't. Now, I'm not saying it like he was. I'm saying that he quote, Jesus fucking Christ. Chris, I love you. Nobody listens to me. He said, he quoted Kane Shades saying something about having integrity and telling the truth. I'm not saying he was sticking up for Kane Shades. Chicago Muscle might not know everything that went on with Kane Shades. I'm saying that it's a terrible person to quote about integrity because he fucking has none. I got to be careful everything I say. Jesus Christ. Nah, Chris, I love you, bro. Lee Cole's gay neighbor. Wow. I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time. Or have you been around lately? I don't know. Let me see. Nah, it's all good, Ward. I'm not pissed off at you guys. I'm not even really all pissed off. I just get aggravated on days like today. You know what I mean? Where we see shit like this. And, the MRE tough guy bullshit, that's even Chicago mentioned it earlier. Like, Chicago said he had 4 guys there. He probably did. I don't even know. But the point is, at the very least, this dude had a Doberman, a giant Doberman, at least one friend, and a gun when he went to face one guy who was with his wife. And supposedly he just punched him in the face and that was it. So, but this shit with like JC. Oh my God. JC is. I'm gonna say this. JC is worse than Danny Trio by far. By far. Danny Trio might have been the wash and wear burglar. Okay. But he made up a story about. Well, okay, he made up a couple of things. He said he was with the Colombo family, which he wasn't. He said that he killed a jewelry store owner or whatever, and he exaggerated his prison time. JC made up an entire life story that there is absolutely zero proof of. He made up an entire life story, and this shit is accepted on YouTube. That's why I'm aggravated. Because there's people like Soft White Underbelly who will bring anybody on. DJ Vlad, you'll bring anybody on. Fucking Raymundi. These types of people. And now J fucking C? Jesus Christ. Of course. Not even reverse. Hervaven, I want to paint the picture for everybody. Like SoFlo said the other day, he wishes I would have ran them over. They were not in front of my car. As soon as I pulled up, they pulled up next to me. As soon as I pulled up, there was nobody in front of me. And they were on the side of the car. And then the fight took place in front of their van. You know what I mean? There was never trust me, if they were in front of me, I would have ran the fuck off. I would have ran them over. Of course, I would have ran them the fuck over. There's no doubt about it. I wish. But as far as putting the car in reverse, forget putting it in reverse. I was wide open. There was nothing in front of me for 3 car lengths. And I wasn't even in drive when they pulled up. I threw it in drive. The second I heard the word fight, I threw it in drive. I couldn't wait to fight. So that's, and I didn't expect you to know, Hervaven. You probably don't listen to everything I say like, certain douchebags do. But yeah, it would have been easy as just pressing the gas. That's it. Simple as that. And nothing would have happened. Nothing, not a thing. What are they going to do? Chase me? It's my fucking town. I would have, at the very least, I would have led them right into the fucking hood in York City somewhere. I would have been making phone calls while I was there for everybody to come out and be waiting for me. You know what I mean? Strapped. For real. So, I ran into a fight. I didn't run away from one. That's not easy getting split custody. They hate men. Yeah, oh yeah, the courts and shit. Yeah, absolutely. Are you serious? FBI, you're fucking with me, right? Oh my God. Hold on. Oh my God. Oh my God. Why does this keep? Oh my God. Guys, I'm fucking jinxed. The fucking camera mic was on again. I don't know how this is happening. It's like now my settings always just, it's like they're saved. They always stay on. But it's like now, as soon as I turn the Roadcaster off, it's like the microphone is wiped out of the system, and then it goes to a default of the fucking camera. Hold on, let me make sure. Wait a minute. It doesn't say it has it as a default. I don't know. Oh well. Another show fucked up by having the wrong mic working. Ah. JT 499 super sticker. Thank you, JT. And I believe this is your first donation. So thank you for that as well. SL Gordon 3 999. Thank you, sir. Oh no, I don't care. I'm so tired of going through all this shit just to make this room look good. While the rest of MobTube hides behind an avatar, I'm sitting here stressing and losing sleep over how good the room looks. So, come on. It's crime and entertainment. So are you saying JC wasn't anything at all? I was with JC when he went on Soft White. I went in Franz East the same day. Crime and entertainment. I don't know if he sold some weed. He probably did. Every white kid sold some weed. But you're going to tell me you believe he was with a cartel or with the mob? Seriously? Yeah, it was FBI. Fuck. Yeah, I know, but the picture don't look right. I tried too hard. That when you try too hard in life, nothing works out. You got to just say fuck it, not care. Everything falls into place for you when you don't care. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, I found out the truth. I guess that's John Wolf. I didn't know that. He left a comment in the soft white underbelly comment section of JC's video that JC was to California what John Gotti was to New York. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. I mean, I know you guys are cool, crime and entertainment, but come on, bro. It sounds silly to even, say that you think that. No, no, no. Crime and entertainment isn't JC. No, I don't, Jesse, because we've heard him. The guy had the Jolly N word bank on his YouTube channel. The guy, he again. Listen, guys, I'm not somebody who calls everything racist. Okay, I'm not. I'm not a liberal like that. Okay, but when you call black people basketball Americans, you're racist against black people, or you'd call them black people or African Americans. Period. If you call them titsoons constantly, if you have a video where some black leader is talking and you're telling him to shut the fuck up and calling them a moulignon and every fucking thing else, you hate black people. You know what I mean? So, and Jesse, if I'm coming off like a dick, I apologize, but maybe you forgot about some of this stuff. Now he hates everyone that's not Lily White, and we're talking as if neo-Nazi isn't bad enough. No, of course not, Chris Archilla. He's never been around nobody. Hervaven Gill, Canadian $5. Thank you. Thank you to people who are donating. I am on late tonight. If you feel like donating, I'd appreciate it. Yeah, that too, Bobby. To LUG. What does LUG mean? He never told me that he was in the mob, just supplied guys with weed that was in the mob. Well, isn't that enough crime and entertainment? It's the mafia, crime and entertainment. I think you're a great guy. I think you're supremely talented. I fucking give you props every chance I get. But I know you're his friend. Bro, you know a lot about the mob. You've interviewed a lot of guys. You know a lot about it. You think some white kid from Fresno was supplying the mafia? They had the fucking pizza connection. They had all these. I mean, come on, throughout the fucking decades. I mean, Jesus Christ. No, the mafia supplied other large organizations with drugs. Marijuana, I mean, come on. And it's not even cocaine or heroin, which is, more like what the mob would fuck with, because there's not a lot of money in marijuana, and it's huge and big and bulky and smelly. There's no way, Crime and Entertainment, I know you're sticking up for him. There's no way I believe that you believe that he supplied the mafia with drugs. He didn't know anybody in the mafia, I assure you. And you think if the mafia were going to get drugs from a cartel, that the go-between would be JC? Crime and Entertainment, did you ever see the picture that JC posted of himself in like the desert with a pistol, where he's got like a do-rag on and a hat backwards / sideways? He looked like Malibu's most fucking wanted. He didn't even look like a guy who was down. He looked like a guy who was trying to pretend to be down. He's a clown. And if you believe that he supplied the mob, you have to believe that he's got his drugs from a cartel, which is equally as insane. And by the way, tonight Argo said that Mike Slick, somebody said that he didn't really say he was in the mob. Yes, he did. Go back and watch the interview. Did he make the statement, I was in the mafia? Not exactly. What he said was, in the mafia, we, meaning he is in the mafia, we look down on junkies and drug addicts. We thought of them as scumbags. And he kept saying it. We saw them as scumbags. We saw them as lowlifes. We, the mafia, we. That's him saying he was in the mafia. And he made other comments too. I mean, throughout the whole fucking thing, he was implying that he was in the mafia. But no matter how you spin it, when you say the mafia followed by we, you're saying you were in the mafia. You don't have to say, by the way, I was in the mafia. You're already saying it. Yeah, no shit. And this fucking clown is on his community post talking about John and Gene are the hottest things. And now he's in the top 10. Oh my God. Yeah. You're in the top 10 frauds. Somebody texted me earlier, said, yeah, you should do a top 10 frauds. Yeah. And Jay-Z, sorry. JC would be, JC would be number one at this point. After that soft white underbelly, Raymundi would be after JC. Because Raymundi at least has a federal prison record, and we all know that at the very least he knew a couple of guys. Did he kill the Pope and all that horse shit? Of course fucking not. Did he kill Sally Burns and blew his head clear off? Of course not. But at least in his case, there's sort of kind of something that's somewhat true. That he was involved with some mob guys. He got indicted with them and he went to federal prison. So there's some truth in it. There's no truth in what JC is saying. Fuck off, Bobby. No, I had so many problems with the Mac. Thanks, Robert. All right. That's clear. That channel clearly doesn't vet people they interview. Must be all about the numbers, right, sugar? Yeah. Apparently it is. Another channel that interviews total fucking frauds. You could take JC's interview, convert it into a script, and by summer, Marijuana Mafia Man would be box office gold. Marijuana Mafia Man. Unbelievable. Thanks, JT. Crime and Entertainment. When I interviewed him, he just said he got weed from cartel guys and supplied to mob guys. To me, he just sounded like a guy that pushed some weed. I didn't listen to the whole Soft White show. No. Crime and Entertainment, I understand, but I'm a guy who just pushed some weed. And as a teenager, I sold shit tons of it. But that's it. I got it from, criminal friends of mine. And I sold it to people who smoke weed. That's it. That's what normal, average, everyday fucking drug dealers do. Now, he only went as far as 50 pounds. I'm telling you right now, to some of you, that might sound like a lot. 50 pounds. Bro, I knew a dude I was in jail with in 2000. That motherfucker was probably moving 50 pounds a week. And I'm not kidding. 50 pounds is nothing. Guys in the hood get 50 pounds. It's nothing. And he's talking about, in other words, crime and entertainment, you would not need a cartel to give you 50 guys. Or 50 guys. Tony Pizza, 20 guys, 10 guys. To give you 50 pounds. And again, crime and entertainment, I'm going to ask you this. Please answer. Is it logical to believe that the mob needed to be supplied by some white fucking geek from Fresno, California? And here's another thing, crime and entertainment. Why did he show you proof? Why isn't there any proof? Why not? How come he has no record for drugs whatsoever, but he claims he does? No, you're right, FBS. My problem is whatever is said more recently gets stuck in my head and I forget stuff prior. LOL, my memory is worse than yours. You call. Well, I'm sorry if I came off like a dick. I'm aggravated tonight because I still have shit to do. A little pissy. But no, I just, when I heard that, it surprised me because, you know, we've heard his language about other races. He hates everyone that isn't lily white. So if you want to differentiate the two, then he's a white supremacist and a neo-Nazi. Yeah, I forget which way it goes. Yeah, something like that. At 15 years old at that. Yeah, that's another, come on, man. And the guy, crime and entertainment, are you aware of what operation he's talking about? Because there's no Operation Green Speaker. It doesn't exist. Never existed. I could see him supplying a guy that was maybe an associate. I don't think he's supplying a boss or anything. Okay, maybe an associate. Now, do I believe even that? No. But I understand how you might. Because an associate, no big deal, right? But an associate is not in the mob. He's not, but he's close enough that I still wouldn't believe it. Now, any mob associate, the mob, Jesus fuck, oh God, in the 90s and throughout history, has had more connections to massive amounts of every type of drug, narcotic, everything, than some fucking white kid in Fresno or any fucking where else in America. Or black kid or any group outside of, yeah, probably Mexican cartels. And if they were going to get shit through Mexican cartels, which I don't believe they wouldn't need JC as a go-between. So I just don't believe it. You just met him that weekend? Oh, I didn't know that. I know you're giving him the benefit of the doubt, but you got to realize, crime and entertainment, we've been listening to his bullshit for almost 3 years now. And he flip-flops back and forth constantly. He's lied about it. The guy said he was going to have a sniper kill Chicago Muscle. For real. He's lied about being a convicted felon. He lies about everything. And when somebody lies about that much shit and they tell you an insanely unbelievable story like that involves cartels and the mafia, you can be assured, you can know for a fact without even knowing for a fact, okay, that he's lying about that too. Okay? Rest assured. He's lying about that too, especially that. Gene is vouching for him. Well, Gene is a good friend. If you were to ask me, do I believe for a second that Gene believes him or John, it wouldn't even enter my mind that they might. Besides, Gene, like, listen, I love Gene, right? But Gene, again, there's no proof that he was ever involved in anything or he would have shown it. So Gene, if anything, is going off his word, if he believes him, which, like I said, I don't believe he does. I can't speak for him, though. And defending him as a friend. That's it. Oh, of course not. And he's talking about when he's, like 17, he's like, I was pretty well connected by then. Oh my God. I guess he does. Yeah. And here's another thing. Crime and entertainment. Here's another thing. He's a troll. I mean, that's one thing everybody knows about JC. He's a troll. His entire time on here, he's made videos about people. He uses mad sock accounts, and he's always lying. He's a troll. He's MRE. He's all those clowns. That's who he is. Everybody knows JC is a troll. Everybody. So to make money selling weed, you have to be selling weight unless you operated like a pager service. Or weed bodega that sold at retail at an insane level. Not to make money, but to make serious money. Yeah. You know what I mean? The pager service thing. Listen, I told you guys I would get, I would get 10 pounds for 6 G's. You're not making a lot. You can get 1,600 a pound because back then I sold ounces for 100. Or you could fucking sell them 1,000 a pound or 1,100 a pound, whatever. Make 10 to 10 grand to whatever. 10-6. I don't know. I'm extremely thirsty tonight because I took extra Lasix. Yeah, it certainly was. Yeah, he's always been saying shit like that. I just fucked up my math. I just realized 10 to 11,000. That was a Tony Pizza moment. Leave me alone. I'm dehydrated. I need to sleep. A basement grow pulls out 30 pounds. It's not that much. No, it's not. 50 pounds. Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know about that, SL Gordon 3, but it's not anything special. It's not anything special. It's not. Because, like I said, the guy I was dealing with, he used to meet a dude, from Texas. And he would get around that 50 pounds a week. And he would give me 10 pounds of it a week. Well, I'd buy it off him. You know what I'm saying? So he said, I'm Irish, so I couldn't be made. I could just be an associate. So that sounds like he is saying he was in the mob. Well, yeah, he said that towards the end, I believe. So, and yeah, if you're saying you're an associate, you're kind of sort of, you're not in the mob. In the mob means you're made. You're a made member of the mafia. But if you're an associate, you're at the very least you're with the mob. You're a part of it in some way. Okay. And he wasn't an associate of the fucking mob, man. He was not. This is a story he made up, like Tony Pizza makes up stories and shit. JC, how much you want to fucking bet, was a normal, everyday kid, okay? Probably raised very well. Clarence's parents have a real nice marriage, okay? Probably never wanted for anything. Had these stupid fantasies while he sat home alone because he was a fucking geek and he had no friends. And grew up to formulate this bullshit fucking story, And he went to college. I mean, come on. He went to college. He says probation forced him short. Yeah, they do that. Uh-huh. Oh my God. What else was I gonna say? He went to college and Sorry, guys, I'm exhausted. My memory's even worse than usual. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, maybe he sold a little weed, like everyone did. But 50 pounds again is not a lot of fucking weed. It's not. But I bet you, JC, he lived a very normal life. Every day, American white boy life. Guarantee it. He was never around no fucking hood, no barrio, not around no Mexican mafia or no black gangs or anything. I assure you. And now we find out. Look at what Chicago Muscle showed. I didn't know that he was involved in a domestic violence with children involved. I forget the exact charge. I never heard that one before. But it either means that he beat up a kid and the mother called the cops, or he beat up the mother in front of the kid. So, that's his criminal record. Mr. Drug Lord, cartel mafia go between. Yeah, the Fresno mafia, yeah. He's a glorified mule. He's with the Vipers. Answer: I don't think the man needs 50 pounds. Or the mob, you meant? I think some low ranking associate may have. Or crime and entertainment. Hear me out on this. He's just full of shit. Or that. You realize that, as far as I know, I'm certainly not somebody who listens to JC's every word. That's for goddamn sure. Even when I was cool with him, I didn't. I always knew he was full of shit. We all did. I was asked when I was friends with him live on my show if I believe anything he says. I said no. Okay. What was I going to say? How come he's never mentioned anyone? Today he mentioned Joe Donato. Has he mentioned the associate? Has he mentioned anyone else? And I know they'll be like, no, that's Ratton. Shut the fuck up. JC, you got to provide something. You can't just say this shit and expect people to believe you. I don't know, man. I think he just moved product, not involved in deals. I guess. No, of course not. War. An associate, yeah, I agree. A crime and entertainment. An associate might have some connect that they buy 50 pounds from here and there. Not JC. He was in Fresno, California. Oh my God. I know, bro. Slug, I know. I believe everybody agrees with you. Oh, yeah. Crime and entertainment. Yeah. He said he was going to have a sniper kill fucking Chicago Muscle. I mean, it's absurd, man. It's not like, if he just said, I was I sold a lot of weed. I had a guy who was a mob associate. I used to hook him up with 50 pounds here and there. I'd be like, okay. All right, why not? And even if it's a bullshit story, it's not that bad that I got to call him out for it. And again, crime and entertainment. I'm a fair person. I Me and JC don't talk anymore. We got along for a while, and I have not said a bad word about him. But a couple of weeks ago, he chose to go on another content creator's show and insist that I'm lying about something, like a situation that happens to be going on, currently. Okay, and he basically tried to make me look like a fool. So you better not go telling any bullshit stories if you try to pick a fucking fight with me, because I'll be the first person to expose the shit out of you. Never. Butterfly kisses. Did you ever see when he was on my show? I don't know if you were around that long in this community. Oh my God. You guys have seen it, right? That motherfucker would come on my show. There'd be a lot of us. It'd be like 7, 8 of us a lot of the time, which I fucking hate. And JC, You could not get in a word. You could not get a word in edgewise. He would fucking talk over everybody. I couldn't even do my own show, and I would say, "JC, chill, shut up, stop," and he would keep going and going. He's a fucking psychopath. He's a mental patient. He's a harmless psychopath, but he's nuts. Yeah, the sniper calling the cartel from prison. JC, that comment got you. That comment got you. You're an asshole. Oh yeah, he called the cartel guy from Fresno County Jail. They would have they would have bailed him out and then slaughtered him. I assure you, they would have sent some fucking random idiot. They would have gave a few $100 to go bail him out, and then as soon as he left, they would have followed him and slaughtered him. No. SL Corden 3. No. There's no mafia in Fresno. Spent 15 years there in the 90s into 2000s. It doesn't exist. He only mentioned the Joe Donato guy, and that guy apparently left the life, a decade or so before, I believe. I don't know. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to lie. I know nothing about any California mafia. I know that there was never much of it. They were never real powerful. There was, it was all bullshit, really, and it died a long time ago. A long, long time ago. So it's stupid to even talk about. He says he was in a mafia neighborhood. Will Smith, I'm already trying to reach him for a movie deal. Well, you better keep your wife's name out his fucking mouth, Will Smith. I'll tell you that much. Yeah, in the 90s, yeah. Is that what it is in LA? But this was not Slug. I don't know how old you are. I think you're older than me. This is not the shit they got today, loud and all that bullshit. Fucking Lavender Kush and fucking all these different. It's like heroin now. It all has a fucking name. It was just regular weed, and even he said that. I said this dirty Mexican dirt weed shit. Yeah. A lot of people did. To be 100, I only watch Jeff Lee and you when I have time. I don't have a clue who all these people you all talk about. Now, I understand that, bro. You got your own thing going on, and you do a great job at it. JC said in the interview, we met and we took off our shirts and dropped our pants, so we both knew we were not wired. JC, I think he dropped his pants, and you dropped your knees. Yeah, probably. Anybody want to donate? Feel free. FBS, you know the difference between swag and kind bud? I think people stopped using those terms like 25 years ago. Oh, for sure. Yeah, man. All right, Fresno mob. Listen, here's the reality. These people, half defending him, obviously ain't never met a fucking gangster in their lives because, I'm sorry, if they haven't met a gangster in their lives, if they believe the mafia would deal with JC, the cartels wouldn't even fuck with JC. Fuck out of here. He's the definition of Peckerwood. Yeah. That's, yeah. I mean, well said, because he's a fucking geek. You got to understand the dude was back then, I assure you, exactly what he is now. He's a fucking geek. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody would ever, let me tell you something, like even in the hood, even dealing with, different groups, Mexicans, black guys, all this different shit. If they see you have no street in you whatsoever, if you're not, obviously, if you don't seem to belong where you are at the time, or you seem like a fucking geek or somebody who might be, some sort of rat, or they're not even going to fucking deal with you. In other words, people like JC, they're not even going to, I could take him into York City right now. Nobody will sell him anything except for maybe a bag of dope. They're not selling him no weight, nothing like that. They would never deal with a guy like that. Okay, so a cartel certainly wouldn't. You think if a cartel needs people, that they're plucking out individuals like fucking JC? JC will do anything to fit in. Not even 2 months ago, he was begging Tony to accept him as part of the guys. He didn't receive the answer he wanted, and he went to Dudley's channel saying horrific crap. Dudley's channel? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, Chad D. How you doing, buddy? Was there even a mob presence in California in the late 80s? I'm not sure, but he wasn't even talking about the 80s. You got to understand, he was born in 75. He's talking about the 90s. So, no, I don't believe so. I will do some research on it, though. I bet you there's somebody who could text me right now who knows 100% for sure if there was any type of mob in Northern California in the 90s. JC started buying those Reebok tracksuits last year. What the fuck? You can't even front right, JC. Yeah, there's another guy who likes to wear tracksuits like that. He's not Italian either. Now there you go. No, there was nothing. No, there you go, JC. And that's why he's talking about a guy. I don't even know who the fuck Joe Donato is. I looked him up today. I don't know. According to JC, he left the life and he became like a fucking some religious. I don't know. But he left the life like in the late 70s or something. And that was the guy in Northern Cali, I guess. I don't know. Where's Joe Everyman? I saw somebody respond to. Oh, okay. You guys, all right. FBS. It isn't a lot of weed. Double A in Springfield was selling 100 pounds a week. There you go. It's not a big deal. It's really not. Like I'm telling you right now, I was always nothing more than a low-level drug dealer. As far as a criminal, I did some serious crimes. As far as a drug dealer, I was always pretty low-level. Okay, and I could move 50 pounds a week. I'm telling you right now. I'd go through 10 pounds in 2 fucking days. No mob in Northern California. There you go. I thought and the two guys who just texted me are experts. I thought the kid thing was that he had his kid in the car when he got his DUI. But no, that's a different thing. But I don't even like to talk about that because it involves his kid. Yeah, that's another thing. I think he lied about the Ambien shit. He was probably, who knows. But you don't get a DUI for being on Ambien 7.5 hours after you took it. It's fucking absurd. He's probably just drunk. But no, the other charge Chicago Muscle talked about was a domestic violence involving a child. So JC, the highlight of your story took place in juvenile detention, and the cartel saw you could throw a punch, so recruited you. JC, you're a fucking clown. Yeah, and listen, JC ain't the kind of dude. He's not gonna run out of his cell and start fighting, and they see him throw a punch. They're like, "Ooh, that's the guy we want." What? They want to know if you could cut a motherfucker up. Holy shit! Give me a second. I need more water. All right. Let me get through here. I don't know about the 90s, but prior, there was a little mob existed in California, was involved in the entertainment business, not doing so much drugs. Yeah. Yeah, there was at one time something. I know that much. That thing in William's pants, yes. That's funny, by the way. That name, is that William Brooklyn you're referring to? Look at his avatar. Yes, he could have kept up. You can't shut him the fuck up. Oh, look, it's JC's mob contact. Oh my God, it's Al Capone. I can vouch for JC. I bought all my swag from him. He's big time. Trust me. Oh, well, now I believe it. Yes, I do remember FBS. LOL, he would do it on Tony's too. Oh my God, yeah. JC, Tony Pete said two of the biggest frauds. JC, my balls weigh more than any pack you ever moved. Yeah. You know what? I just thought about it. Tony Pete. No, Tony Pizza would come after him on the top 10 frauds list too. Holy crap, a mafia neighborhood. That's what he said. He was too dangerous to be made, so we had to cut ties. We don't need that kind of trouble. Oh, I understand. I understand. Yeah, I say that, Bobby, because the last pound of weed, I actually bought 2 pounds, was in 2012. After I lost my job, I bought 2 ounces of cocaine and 2 pounds of lavender kush. It was 3,400, I think, a pound. I was like, what? Yeah, and besides, listen, I stopped selling weed when I was younger because I discovered selling cocaine and crack and the fucking money. It's you could if you need to have something on you, you know what I mean? You could have something this big that you'll make more money off of than something this fucking big that stinks and reeks. So if you get pulled over or something, you're fucked. Now, when I used to get that 10 pounds a week, that shit came so wrapped up in fucking dryer sheets and plastic wrap and aluminum foil and everything else. But still, the amount of money you can make off cocaine, the profit margin, it's a completely different fucking thing. I mean, you figure I was getting ounces for 800. Just sell it $100 a gram. You're making 2,800 back on a fucking ounce. Sell 2 ounces, 1,600. You make $5,600. And 2 ounces is like not even. It's like 2 baseballs, if that. You know what I mean? But meanwhile, to make that much money selling weed, you got to have a fucking brick this fucking big. Like, oh, is that right? Oh my God. I didn't know he was with him. Oh, I did hear Chicago say he was with Pablo Escobar. I saw the picture. The only LCN family there was in LA was over 49 years ago. The only alleged boss was Jack Dragna, 60s. There you go. Jay-Z has all the street in him. He was fond of Mexican fellows. I love you, whoever you are. Yeah. And JC, you'll be all mad at me, and now you'll start a relentless shit talking campaign, which I promise you I'll make you sorry for. But you got yourself to blame, bro. You've seen me, especially me, pretty much only me, expose the frauds on here. Like, I was the first person to tear Raymundi to pieces. I got a video that has 70 something thousand views or some shit. I get views on it every single day. I get views and comments. I tore Raymundi apart in a debate. I did shows about him exposing him. All those videos are still watched. I'm the one that exposed Danny fucking Trio to be the wash and wear burglar. And the list goes on and on. Of course, I can't remember it right now, but there's people in this chat who could tell you other frauds I've exposed. Oh, shit. Benny Diova. I'll let somebody else do that. Jason Mike said, FBS, I'm always on your side. Just a shame. I used to like JC. Oh, and there's nothing wrong with still liking him, bro. I don't mind if any of you like him. I don't care. It's not a side thing. There's not an FBS side and a JC side. There's really only an FBS side. But no, I'm not waging a war against JC. I don't care about him enough. That's why even when he was talking shit about me, I ignored him because I just gave everybody a speech about making these fucking assholes relevant by speaking about them. Now, nobody can make him relevant. He's been on here almost 3 years. He's not relevant yet. He does a show with Gene Borello. Okay, but I ignore people like him because they're clowns. They're not even worth me talking about. Other people could, on his level, could talk about him, but not me. I'm just, no matter who, Jason, you know me. If that guy was still my friend and he did that show today, I'd be calling him out I might do it in a laughing manner, you know, a friendly way, but I'd be fucking tearing him to pieces in my own little way because that's such a. Listen, man, there's other content creators that have been friends with him that always felt like he was an embarrassment. They used to tell me, you know what I mean? He was an embarrassment to anybody who was friends with him. Swear to God, somebody put in the Soft White Underbelly's comment section that JC is the laughing stock of the mafia genre. He is. He always was. Him and Stax. They're the same guy to me. Except for, you know, I think Jeff Crow, JC, has an income. That's about it. Nobody donating? Son of a bitch. Oh my God, of course. There's a video I watched recently about the San Jose Mafia. It was really just a glorified crew. See? What's up, Bob Miller? Yeah, I know, bro. He's jerk off. Is that right? JC's mob contact? You can find JC at the mall at 8 a.m. trying to hustle antennas to them geezer mall workers. I still want to know who buys an antenna in 2024. Will somebody please tell me? What the fuck is there antennas for anymore? Why? His neighborhood, I believe, is in the Mayfair district. My best friend lived there in the 90s. To suggest it was mob controlled is absolutely absurd. See? Let me get down here. You better watch out. He has promo partners for his show. Oh my God. I remember anytime he'd have the slightest accomplishment. He still does it. Like today, he's top 10. He got a sponsor or something, and he was like, he kept comparing himself to everybody else. Like, we're in the big leagues now. I'm in the big leagues with you guys. I got sponsors. What? And he would talk about, I would see him talk about me and Gene or some of the best mob content. I'm like, no, Gene is, not you, bro. Not you. This is a disease. This let me latch on to a mob guy and let him do my show for me shit. It's got to end eventually. JC, your nervous hand movements gave up every lie. That's why they still did your shit on April 1st. What is that? Soft white clown, yo bitch ass. Oh, you think? I don't know. You think he was trolling him? The CNJC stands for Corleone. Watch out, boy. You're on a roll. If I would have brought him around my people, I would have been told to never bring him back. Yes, me too. But I would never. Joe Blow, I forget who it was, but I thought somebody went over the charge involving a child a while back. Wasn't it a DUI? Yeah, but there's apparently another one, a domestic situation. JC, your biggest flex is that stupid ass pool table in someone's house who you walk their dog. Oh, yeah, that's the guy where he was showing off the guns. Wisco Chick 420, haha, we always got from NorCal Vacuum sealed indoor panels. Being young was just reckless, but good lessons. Yeah, very true. Oh my God, JC took out Tommy DeSimone. Holy fuck, he was only what 4 when Tommy disappeared. Yeah. But that's 50 pounds you gotta sell to make that. 50 fucking pounds. And I'm sure you can make more than that. But that's a lot of shit. You know what I mean? That's why selling weed is stupid. It's not just, it's stupid, not even because you could get busted. It's stupid because there's no money in it. If you're going to catch a felony, get a real one. I got a felony for selling weed in 2000. 16 years later, I got a felony for selling cocaine. I moved up in the world. I learned my lesson. Fuck that. If I'm going to catch a felony, might as well commit a real one. He's a friendly guy. He's just very immature and dishonest, not a loyal bone in his body. No, 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 no. Yeah, he'll throw anybody under the bus. He'll sell anybody out. Yeah, I'll say that. He's more likable than Stacks. Yeah. I don't know. Really, Bobby? I don't know. JC, when was the last time you stuck it in the pink, that Reebok tracksuit? Not going to help get those issues. No, certainly not. Yeah, Jesse. I mean, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck antennas is anybody selling these days? No, I don't know, Bobby. I never really thought about it. We're the same age, lived in Fresno at the same time. I still have business in Fresno and go there regularly. Today, it was weird to hear him tell these stories. It's ridiculous. See, what's up, Texas Josh? JC took down Castellano and Gotti got all the credit. He took him down and Gotti got the credit, huh? Wow, I never knew that. Lee falling off the roof, dude. Strong arm tactics. I think it has to do with California not having many Italians or even Irish. People are in awe by anyone who isn't Lily White in California. What part of California? I know there's certain parts that ain't true. I'm saying take those 50 and dump them on 4 or 5 guys making 200. Oh yeah. Of course, yeah, that's true. That makes it easy. Yeah. But he wasn't doing that. Remember, the 50 pounds I'm referencing, and I don't remember every word of the interview, but I'm only referencing 50 pounds because he said he was telling a story about being on a train. That's how they would transport marijuana. Okay. And he'd be on Amtrak. And he said like we'd have like 20 pounds, and then he kind of moved it up 30 pounds. Maybe if it was 2 guys, we'd have 50 pounds. And I'm like, 50 pounds from a cartel? 50 pounds wouldn't even be a decoy. They'd use 500 minimum probably for a decoy. 50 pounds from a cartel? Come on. Tito Traficante, to be honest, JC did what every channel wished they could do. He is making it. Tito Traficante, tell me how. Making it. Tell me how. I'll wait. I wanted to end the show, but I'm going to wait for Tito. Tito, you're a fucking idiot if you really believe that. Jay-Z tricked Barzini into challenging the. Oh, JC tricked Barzini into challenging the Corleones. Wow, I'm learning more and more about him as we go. Yeah, no shit, Benny. Oh, is he? Yeah, Tito. I think Tito's. Yeah, I remember him being in here once before. He's a fucking asshole. He's making it. JC is making it. I want to see what JC made in 2023 off of YouTube. I want to see what he's made so far in 2024. Then I'll tell you if he's making it. Who has interviewed me or any other? What is that channel? Who has interviewed you, me, or any? Tito, you don't get it, do you? First of all, my life story is 8 million times better than JC's. I've actually been through hell and back. But even if Soft White Underbelly asked me for an interview, I would think it's kind of strange. Nobody should be interviewing any of us. JC, even if his story was true, there's got to be 10 million guys with better criminal stories, life stories. And Tito, forget who has interviewed me. I'm not looking for interviews. And if I did, I wouldn't need John Alight and Gene Borello to get it for me. Ask me who I've interviewed. Who have I interviewed? Tell me who makes the most money on MobTube. Tell me who makes any real money on MobTube. Interviews, the comment section is filled with people dissing him and clowning him. You realize that, stupid ass, right? I get you've been through hell and back. Go write a book. Why? I don't want to write a fucking book. Who are you, Tito? Tito's commenting, telling us what we should do. Tito, if I show you the amount of money I've made on my channel, You would lose your ever-loving fucking mind. You wouldn't even be able to handle it. You wouldn't be able to handle it. As for JC, the money he has made since the day he started his channel, I probably spent today on gas. What are you talking about? There you go, Ducks. Please do. Please do. But I'll tell you this much. If I was interviewed by somebody like that, it wouldn't even be. It would be my life story in general. I wouldn't have no fake crime story. I would tell about the crimes I committed and what I did, as a drug dealer, and it wouldn't even be that interesting. It really wouldn't be. I was a small level guy. I'm not JC. I don't sit here and act like I deserve an interview by soft white underbelly. Of course, then again, now we know he interviews anybody. JC had John and Gene hook this up for them. And he knew he was going to go on there and tell a bullshit fucking story. Holy shit. If I go on soft white underbelly or I'm interviewed by anybody, you can bet your ass what I say will be the fucking truth. It'll be the same thing I've always said on here. Who interviewed me already? It's fucking Tito. Tito, it doesn't take much to impress you, does it? Bobby, Tito, here's a list of FBS's interviews. There you go. Tito, maybe you're not aware. I don't know if you fucking with me, Ducks, or you really know? I'm curious. Where would you end? I think you're fucking with me. Oh, of course, Ducks. Of course. Yeah. True, Alex Riz. Not the Whitakers on Underbelly. Yeah, Diane Sawyer better. Yeah, I would say. Soft white underbelly. Tito. They specialize in pulling junkies and hookers and shit off the street. And the Whitakers, they're not interviewing fucking Robert De Niro. You know what I'm saying? They're not even interviewing big time mob guys or anything. They interview whoever. Yeah, everyone has a story. I might have already put that up, Ducks. All right, guys, I'm exhausted, and I hate being on this fucking late. I hate it. It's 12:45, and I barely made any money. How could you? How could you all do this to me? How? Fucking hurts my heart. Matt B, JT, SL Gordon 3, and Hervé and Gildo. Thank you very much. That's $25. So hey, but you know what? It's better than nothing. I appreciate you guys. Well, thank you, Ducks. I would agree. Thank you, my friend. I'm gonna go now. Yes, even DJ Vlad, I would have been mildly impressed by DJ Vlad, except for the fact that he has like Ray Mundy on, and no matter what JC, no matter who interviews him, it's going to be bullshit from beginning to end. If I came out of nowhere, or even now, if I just created some bullshit story and Soft White Underbelly never heard of me, I'd get an interview with them too. Even with my story, I could probably get an interview on Soft White Underbelly. My story, no matter how you want to slice it, is fucking fascinating. It is. The fact that I'm still alive is, like I say in my addiction and recovery intro, nothing short of a fucking miracle. So, yes, that's right. All right, guys. Talk to Gene what, Stevie the Gypsy? What do you mean talk to Gene? I haven't talked to Gene in a while. Guys, I love you. I'm out of here. Thank you for everything. And until next time, salute.